everyone. Welcome in. Let's see if I can pull myself up here. Anyway, let's get going. I'm going to smudge us all off, and I'm going to do a weekly read. We're going to take a look at what the week looks like for all of us. So take what works, leave what doesn't. Appreciate each and every one of you. Not sure what deck we're going to use. Got all my decks out here. Well, not all my decks, but a lot of my decks. But let's find out what's going on. Each and every one of you. All right, I am ready to go. So let's see what's going on for, we're going to start with Aries, work our way around the zodiac wheel through to Pisces and see what does the week look like. Get a glimpse. And as always, at the end of the reading, if you stick around and you have a question you'd like me to answer, I'm happy to pull cards at the end of the reading. But first, let's get through everyone's week and see what it looks like. And if anybody wants to timestamp that, that would be great too, all right? Because I don't do that. But if somebody would do that, that would be great. All right, let's see what is going on for all of us this week. Grateful, thankful for the messages. We're going to start with my Aries clan and see what's going on. We're just going to shuffle the deck and just go in the order of the deck and see what's going on for you guys. All right, grateful, thankful for the messages for all of my zodiac signs, starting with Aries. What can you tell me about the week for Aries? All right, Aries, we are starting out with the Ace of Wands. We like that. To the Judgment card, to the Nine of Pentacles coming in reverse. Be careful of codependency with someone. All right, because I'm sensing there could be a codependent energy here, you know, where somebody's not doing all the work, wanting you to kind of help put up with them. I'm just getting, you know, somebody's not pulling their weight in the equation here. So that could be a problem that could come up during the week this week. Now we start off with the Ace of Wands. I like the Ace of Wands. So when we have the Ace of Wands coming in, you know, we like that. We see this because the Ace of Wands is a passionate new beginning. This is something that, you know, makes us feel good. This is the way we want to start. So I think the week starts out really, really great. And then what ends up happening is, you know, things just kind of start to turn, because I just feel as if somebody wants you to give them another chance and you're like, I'm not going to do this anymore. Maybe they want you to do something again. Again, this codependent energy, I just feel like it kind of comes to the surface this week and you're going to have to deal with that. Let's pull one more card for you, Aries. Yeah, then we have the Eight of Pentacles coming in reversed. So we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. We have the Eight of Pentacles coming in reverse. And we have this Knight of Pentacles not working. So maybe there's an Aries out there that doesn't have a job, needs to get a job. I'm just feeling as if, you know, the money thing is definitely coming up, and is everybody pulling their weight. So that could be a theme that happens for this week for my Aries clan. Hi, Michael. Welcome in. Welcome in, Jason. Nice to see you. Yeah, Jesus loves you too. Thanks for the message, Jason. I'll take it. All right, grateful, thankful for everyone. We are now reading for Taurus for the week ahead. And like I said, if you missed it at the beginning, I'm always happy to pull cards at the end of the readings for you guys. So if you have a question, throw it in the chat, you know. And when I'm done doing the weekly here, I will turn to you guys and pull cards for just those questions. All right, let's see what is going on for all of my Taurus for this week. Grateful, thankful for the messages from my Taurus gang. All right, Taurus, we're starting out with the Four of Cups coming in reversed. Sometimes with the Four of Cups, we get a sense of boredom, you know, when I see the Four of Cups energy. But I also feel as if there is a situation you don't want from anyone anymore, all right? Because I feel like there's this offer that if somebody comes back towards you, you're going to say no. Because I feel like you've been dealing with an issue that has really driven you crazy, all right? We're in the energy of the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is so mental, and I think you're just over it. And some of you guys, maybe you're done being bored and, you know, you're going to go out and try to figure out what you can do, because I do see you looking at options, all right? We've got the Seven of Cups coming in here. I just feel like you want to change this week. All right, with the Emperor coming in, you know, this is, you know, an energy of, you know, you want to get some more control over what's going on. You want to know that, you know, everything is in order. This could be your father you might be dealing with, who, you know, might be giving you some trouble as well this week. But I'm definitely getting the sense that, you know, you want to change up your life a little bit. And, you know, you want to get out of this place where, you know, you're in your head and, you know, start to see what options are there. So you may actually, you know, seek counsel with someone. I mean, the Emperor here might be like giving you suggestions. So yeah, I mean, I just feel as if you are kind of trying to figure your life out here this week, Taurus, and you are trying to figure out what to do next or how to change a situation in your life. And I do really feel like this Emperor could be a key player in all of this week for you. All right, grateful, thankful for each one of you. All right, let's see what's going on for my Geminis. Grateful, thankful for the messages for all my Geminis. Grateful, thankful for Gemini. For this week, what can you tell me about my Geminis for this week? Ooh, we got a couple cards wanted to come out. So the cards that wanted to come out, believe it or not, was the Seven of Cups coming in reverse to the Emperor reversed. So, you know, here, you know, when you feel like you have no options, Gemini, I do feel like there's someone, you know, I see you visiting with a friend who's going to help you out, all right? Because I get a sense that you are very angry at someone, all right? We've got the Queen of Swords reversed. We've got the Emperor reversed. Nobody's really happy. What am I going to do? So I feel like there's been some trouble between you and your partner in trying to figure out, you know, how are we going to get on the same page. But, you know, the Emperor, when he comes in reverse, I mean, you can't tell him anything. He knows everything. He's got all the power, all the control, you know. A little narcissistic is this energy of this person. And then we have the Queen of Swords coming in. Well, the Queen of Swords, this is somebody who is very clear, very direct, knows what they're talking about. And when she comes in upside down, you know, she's a little upset. You know, because either she's been lied to, she has been told what it was, you know, I mean, she likes the facts, and I just feel as if you're in a quandary as to what to do with this person. So some of you Geminis may find yourself talking to a friend, trying to get a little bit of advice on how to handle the situation with this Emperor. So a week of, you know, trial and error, I think, is going to be for many of us. But I do feel like, you know, you've been struggling with, you know, how to handle someone who's been a bit difficult. And that Emperor can be a father figure. It can be your boss. It can be a partner. But the fact that, you know, you just don't know what to do. It's good to get some sound advice from a good friend that you can really talk to. So that's what I see happening for you, Taurus. All right, let's see what's going on for my Cancers. All right, let's see. Cancer, we've got the King of Wands coming out, reversed to the Two of Wands, to the Four of Cups. You know, you might be involved with somebody, Gemini, if you're single, and even if you're not single, you might be dealing with someone who you got to be careful of their energy, because the King of Wands is somebody that, you know, they're a con artist. They're very charming. They know what they want. They know what they're doing. These are people that, you know, whatever they can do to get what they want from you, they will. So be careful that somebody is not trying to get you to do something that you know, might be thinking about, all right? Because if it's not your idea and it's their idea, maybe you don't want to do it. Because I feel like this person is coming back. All right, and they're reapproaching you and they're giving you another opportunity here. And it's just like, if you have been dealing with somebody and this is a personal person that you know of, you know, what makes you think that this next cup is going to be any different than the three that they've already given to you? So, you know, just be very, very careful, because I see you reach a point where you're not going to put any more energy into this person or this situation. You know, but they are. It's like they're going to present you some kind of an option, you know, and it's just like, oh, it's very, very tempting. And it is. It's really tempting. But I just think at the end of the day, you know, when you're dealing with a King of Wands like this, you just don't want to put too much energy into them, because you're not going to get it back. All right? So that's what we got for my Gemini. Moving on to my Cancers. Grateful, thankful to each and every one of you. We are looking at my Cancers. Or did I just do Cancer? I don't know. But we're going to do Cancer now, because I think I'm on Cancer. All right. Very quiet chat room today, which is okay. All right, Cancer, let's see what's going on for you for this upcoming week. Grateful, thankful to each and every one of you. Let's see, Cancer, what does the week look like for all my Cancers? Hi, Anna, welcome in. Detroit's finest, welcome in. You're a Cancer. I'm going to read for you right now. All right. So Cancer, we're starting the week with a little bit of stress. I mean, here we got the 10 of Wands is how we're starting, all right? So you're carrying a lot of weight. There's an awful lot that I think you got to do this week. And then we have the 4 of Swords and we have the Hermit. When am I going to get any rest? I've got so much to do. But I think, you know, everything you're doing, you have to do right now, all right? And you're almost there, okay? When we have this card here, you're carrying everything, but look, you're almost there, all right? We can see the house is in sight, and soon enough, you know, you'll be at a point where you're going to be able to rest and relax. And then, you know, you can have some time off. I do see the need for you to have some time by yourself this week would be really, really important. All right, because there's something that I think you're really struggling with, all right? Because here with this Cancer card, well, not Cancer card, Cancer reading, we see here that the Hermit is holding this light up to this 4 of Swords. So, you know, maybe you're dealing with a lot of stuff that you just don't want to talk about, you know, maybe something's going on with you and you don't want people to know, or maybe, you know, something happened to you and you're really hurt and disappointed and you just need to take the space to, you know, process. And I think it would be really, really good for you because here we end the week with the 4 of Cups. All right. So if you are dealing with a situation where somebody may have done something to you, I have a feeling that they may want to come back and maybe make amends or talk to you by the end of the day. So, I mean, the week starts out, you know, pretty heavy, but I think by the end of the week, you're going to have a little bit more clarity and you will know exactly how to handle this situation when they come back and make you yet another offer. All right. So that's what I see going down for my Cancers out there. Am I a native? I am not a native. I am just a me. All right, grateful, thankful for the messages for my Leos. We are moving on to my Leos, Detroit's finest. If you have a question specific, I'm happy to answer any questions at the end of the reading. All right, grateful, thankful to each and every one of you. All right, let's see what's going on for my Leos for this current energy for this week. Grateful, thankful. Don't forget to hit that like button. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff really makes a difference to my channel. And I'd love to see my channel continue to grow. All right, let's see what's going on for all of my Leos. So we have the Hierophant coming out. I like that. I like that. I think you're going to have a good week. Some of you Leos are not working, you know, and if you're not working and you got the day off or the week off, I see you out hanging out with your friends. We have this card of friendship coming up. I like that energy because I feel as if, you know, you start out the week at the Hierophant, you know, just being able to be you, to do what you want to do. You know, and like I say, if you're not working, I think this is a week that you're kind of happy you're not working. I mean, sometimes it's nice to just have the time off, right? But I do feel as if, you know, this is a week where, you know, you're transitioning. And I say that because we have the Death card here at the end of what's going on. So I think, you know, you may have maybe ending a job or maybe ending a cycle or ending, you know, a project or something that you are doing. And this might be why you feel so good because it's finally coming to an end. You know, and now you can start to do things in other realms. And, you know, the fact that we have, you know, you going out with your friends, I feel like, you know, that's an indication that it's going to be a very socially kind of active week for you as well, Leo. So I like that for you. So, yeah, some transformation and the ability to do things. And, you know, if you're not working, you know, you might, you know, get a lead from somebody. You know, I feel like somebody might tell you about maybe a position or a job that might be available to you. All right, so that's what I've got for you. Hi, Fire Lord Lydia. Welcome in. This is a tarot read, a weekly tarot read. And I am on Virgo. I just finished Leo, and now I'm on to Virgo. Grateful, thankful for the messages for all of my Virgos for this upcoming week. Grateful, thankful for the messages for my Virgos for this week. All right, Virgo, you ready? Let's see what's coming through for the next 7 to 10 days. So first card out for you is the Page of Cups coming in reversed to the 6 of Cups also reversed. You know, so listen, if you have kids, I feel like they could be a little bit, you know, fussy this week. I mean, honestly, the Page of Cups and the 6 of Cups, it kind of tells me that, you know, kids could be a little bit a handful this week, you know, especially if, you know, you're a single mom. I don't know why I feel like it could be for a single mom. But I just feel like you need some help here, all right? Because you're really struggling. Whoever you are, Virgo, out there, I really sense that you are struggling. Things are feeling a little unstable. And if you do have kids, I think that's also a struggle. Let's get you another card out here. But I do feel as if there's someone around that could help you, all right? So if you're feeling like it's a tough week, all right, and you don't have to have a kid. I'm just, you know, we do have the Page of Cups here. Or it could be around a relationship that you are dealing with. I just feel as if, you know, there is somebody out there, this King of Pentacles, who could probably help you out. If you need a little bit of money, maybe you could borrow some money from this person. I just feel like this is a good person to know because they bring stability in what seems to be a very unsteady week for you, all right? So don't be afraid to open up to the people if you really need them, all right? So that's what I've got for you, Virgo, for the next 7 to 10 days. Let's say 7 days. All right, grateful, thankful for the messages for my Libras. We are moving on to Libra. All right, Libra, what's going on for all of my Libras for the next week? Grateful, thankful to each one of you. I don't see anybody putting any questions in. Oh, there we go. When will we change? Welcome in. Just going to say nobody's putting any questions in. It'll be a short reading. All right, Libra, let's see. We start out the week with you with the Judgment reversed to the King of Swords to the Page of Swords. Wow, so I feel as if, you know, there's a situation that, you know, you can't tolerate anymore, and I feel like you're at the point you're ready for something to come to an end. It's funny, I feel like for some of you Libras, there's a conversation that happens between, you know, a younger person and an elder person, but I'm feeling it's more like work, you know, with, you know, employee to a superior. And I feel as if there is just something that needs to be said. And here with this Page of Swords, you're going to tell somebody, and I feel like they'll be receptive to it. Let's get one more card out. Ten of Pentacles, you know, I mean, it could be around money, you know, you might say, you know, I'm not getting paid enough, you know, for everything that I'm doing. Either I get an advance or, you know, I just feel as if you're at that point where you are ready to ask for a raise. You're ready to ask for what you deserve because you no longer want to continue working or doing what you're doing and not getting what is rightfully yours, all right? And with that Ten of Pentacles, I feel like it has to do with money. So don't be afraid, you know, to ask for that raise this week, all right, Libra? Grateful, thankful to each one of you. Oh, that's right there. All right, let's see what's going on for my Scorpios. Grateful, thankful for the messages for all of my Scorpios. What's going on with my Scorpios here? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, let's see what the week looks like for you. We've got you starting out the week with the Ace of Swords reversed to the Hermit reverse. Wow, I feel like somebody said something to you and you knew that it wasn't true and you just can't handle it. Like you just don't want to even talk to them. And here's Page of Swords. So I feel like you received some kind of news that really bothers you this week. That Hermit card coming in reverse means you really need to sit with this news, all right? Because I feel like somebody gives you some news, this Page of Swords reversed, you know, and you don't like it. You don't like it at all. And whatever it is, it's going to put you in a place of, you know, real deep introspection. So let's find out what's this about, all right? The Page of Swords. I mean, this could be somebody who has just been watching you. Because I also get the feeling like that, you know, they would love to do something to you. You know, maybe there's somebody at work that, you know, has something in for you, or I just don't like what this person says to you, because whatever this person says to you, it really gets you thinking, you know, so sometimes, you know, those are the things we need to hear. But whatever it is, I feel as if things are going to turn out okay. So if you receive some bad news on the, you know, at the beginning of the week, Scorpio, I feel like it turns around by the end of the week. And on top of that, you get some real insight on yourself. All right, let's see what's going on for my Sagittarius. All right, let's see. Sagittarius, grateful, thankful. All right, we'll pull a card just for you, Anna, on that. All right, we are looking at Sagittarius. Grateful, thankful for the messages for my Sagittarians for this next 7-day period. What's going on for my Saggies? What can they expect? So you also have the King of Swords coming out to the Hierophant. You know, so I feel as if, you know, you are placed in a position here where, you know, you don't have the kind of freedom that you want. All right. When we have this King of Swords, it's almost as if this person is telling you that I need you to do this, this, and this. And the Hierophant here coming in reverse says, no, I don't want to do that. That's not me. That's not what I want to do. And then we have the Two of Pentacles coming in reverse. All right. So I feel like some of you guys might get pushed to do something that really kind of, you know, wakes up those morals within you and say, I don't know if I can really do this. And with the Two of Pentacles coming in reverse, it's like you can't pretend. All right, you can't pretend you even want to go along with something that somebody wants you to do. And here we have this Four of Cups coming in reverse. So, yeah, I feel like you're going to really kind of, it's like where the rubber meets the road, Sagittarius, you know, where you're going to be like, I don't want to do that, you know, and you're not going to make me do that. And I'm not going to feel bad about doing that, you know, and if I do that, then I give up my freedom and I don't want to do that. So I feel as if you are in a place right now where you need to make some decisions. And the decisions, you have to be very realistic with it, all right? You can't, you know, kind of pretend that maybe if I do this, it'll be all right. I mean, it really wants you to make a big decision, you know, about whether or not you want to accept what this guy is going to tell you that you need to do or not. So I think some of you guys are at a crossroads. You know, here we have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. When I see that, you know, this is about, you know, whether or not you want to align with this person and move forward or not. And I just feel as if, you know, you are starting to realize that I may not want to do this. So, yeah, an awakening for you, Sagittarius. All right, let's see what's going on for all of my Capricorns for the next 7 days. Grateful, thankful for the weekly message for my Capricorns. Grateful, thankful for my Capricorns today. Let's see what's coming through. One more shuffle for you, all right, Capricorn? All right, let's see. Cappies, what's going on for you? Grateful, thankful for the messages for my Capricorns. All right, Capricorn, you ready? We've got the Page of Pentacles coming in reverse to the Moon card. And then the Judgment card. All right, you're really thinking about a situation that you need to, you know, do or, you know, or kind of believe in is what I feel. All right, Page of Pentacles coming in reverse. There may have been something that you started and, you know, you question whether or not this is really the road you're supposed to be on. All right, because we've got this Moon card calling you, you know, to do something that you just wonder whether or not you should continue doing, because we have the Judgment card here. And I feel like Capricorn, you got to keep going because the Wheel of Fortune has also shown up. All right, so I feel like, you know, you may question whether or not you are on the right path, whether you should be doing this, whether, you know, you should even have started this. But these other three cards, they're major arcana cards. They are all encouraging you to give it another chance, because this time I think things are going to turn around, especially with the, you know, the positive energy of the Wheel of Fortune coming through. So I really feel like, you know, keep going, Capricorn. Don't give up, you know. Just because it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, I feel like this is your calling. This is what you're supposed to do. And it wants you to continue doing it, all right? So whatever that is, keep going, all right, Capricorn? That's what I got for you. All right, grateful, thankful for the messages for my Aquarians. All right, moving on to my Aquarians for the next 7 days. Let's see what's going on for all of my Aquarians for the next 7 days. All right, let's see. All right, Cappies. No, Aquarians. That's wrong. Aquarius. Aquarius, we got the Ace of Swords coming out with the Knight of Swords coming in reverse. Be careful of somebody trying to deceive you. All right, because it's almost like I get a hit and run. You know, not that, you know, that means you're going to be in a hit and run. I just feel as if there's somebody who's going to try to deceive you and then, you know, try to hide from it. This could be somebody that you've dealt with in the past. I just feel like there's not going to be a good outcome with that. All right, so if somebody from your past shows up and is trying to get you to do something, I mean, I just feel like they're not telling you the truth, all right? So be very, very careful with that energy, because, and the fact that I do feel that somebody from your past could come back and, you know, maybe they want you to help them or they want something from you. It's not going to turn out well, all right? We have got the Six of Wands here reversed. So I would leave well enough alone and stay away from that person. Just don't believe what it is that they're going to say. All right, yeah, I mean, this is done and over with, all right? You have healed from this person. So it could be a past love that comes back this week. Wants something from you, Aquarius. All right, last but not least, let's look at my Pisces. Grateful, thankful for the messages for all of my Pisces out there. Just for the next 7 to 10 days, you are last but not least. Let's see what's going on for all of my Pisces. All right, Pisces, we've got for you, we've got the 10 of Pentacles coming out by the 2 of Swords and the Knight of Wands. All right, 10 of Pentacles. I mean, some of you might come into some money, you know, but with that money, you know, comes decisions. Like, what am I going to do with it? You know, if you know, maybe you've just got an inheritance or a bonus, or I just feel as if you're not really sure now what you're going to do with this money, because the Knight of Wands comes in reverse. I could do all kinds of things, but the Knight of Wands likes to travel, like to have fun. They like to do different things. And I think you're kind of sitting here like, I don't know whether or not I should do anything right now. All right, because there's this unsettled energy. Because I think, you know, if this is like an inheritance or something like that, I don't, you know, you may not be ready to spend the money yet. You know, I just feel as if there is this energy of, you know, you not feeling good, maybe about accepting some money that is coming your way. You know, because maybe somebody's talking about it, you know, and you just don't believe them. I mean, this is too good to be true. So I'm just feeling like, you know, when it comes to like the possibility of you having a lot of money, you know, you want it to be real. Right? And, you know, you got to get out of your head here, you know, and you want to be really, really clear. So if you come into a lot of money, or, you know, what are you going to do with it? I mean, really, I mean, if you come in with $10,000, right, that seems like a lot of money, but it's not in the big scheme of things. And I think you realize this, Pisces, that if I come into some money, you know, what do I need to do? I need to put a roof on the house first, right? Maybe I need to do that. Maybe I use the money for that. Or, you know, even though I would rather like go travel and do things, you know, maybe that's what I need to do it. So I just feel like, Pisces, you know, you're trying to figure out, you know, how you want to handle this, you know, sudden wealth that may have come through to you, and how you're going to move forward doing it. But I do get the sense that emotionally, you know, I think you need to stabilize yourself, Pisces. I just feel like, you know, there's something that's really bothering you that's keeping you from being clear. It's like, yeah, this is really, really great, but this isn't what's going to make me happy. And I think now you're trying to struggle with what you really, really want, you know. So sometimes, you know, when we come into money, we don't know really what to do with it. And I think this is one of these circumstances where it's just like, I can't really believe that I have it, you know, and now that I have it, what do I do with it? You know, so it could be something as simple as that, where you finally receive something that you've always wanted, and now you have it, and you're like, oh my gosh, now what do I do with it? Anyway, a very heady kind of in your head type of week, Pisces. So I see you, you know, just kind of really trying to figure it all out. All right. So how are you guys doing in the chat? All kinds of people have come and gone. Welcome in, everyone. Hi, John. Hi, Enki. Welcome in. When will we change? Nice to see you. It's nice to see Detroit's finest. Jerry, nice to see you, Jerry. Anna, if you're still in here, welcome in. Let's see. Detroit's finest, you've got a question. Will the flow remain flowing, or will the wind start blowing? Oh, I don't know what kind of a question that means. Maybe you can clarify that. All right, but meanwhile, while we wait for that, I'm going to read the cards for John. Welcome in, John. Nice to see you. Let's see, just a general reading for John. All right, we got the Hanged Man coming up for you, John. So I feel as if you've got to gain some perspective on a situation. When we are in the energy of the Hanged Man, you know, this is saying, oh my gosh, did I give too much? You know, did I do too much? Did I do too little? You know, how can I change my life? What do I need to give up? What do I need to have happen? I mean, this is you gaining perspective on a situation. And then we have the Lover's card coming out reversed. So I got to tell you, John, when it comes to love, I don't feel like this new love is truly your person. And be very, very careful that you don't give too much, you know, to someone who just doesn't want to give back, right? But I'm just not seeing that this is a real, true love connection for you, John. Sorry. All right, Bandit Bo Darville wants to know how to remove a bad luck curse. Do you have a bad luck curse? Do you know you have a bad luck curse? I mean, the way to, negate that is, to just kind of suffocate it with positivity. But, there's lots of ways to, do the whole curse thing. But I think you'd have to find somebody who does that. Anna, you just want to know how the upcoming week will be. Let's find out how Anna's week will be. Welcome in, Anna. Grateful, thankful to my friend Anna, who always comes in, helps me out, and supports me. What can you tell me about Anna's week ahead? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Anna. All right, so listen, Anna, I feel as if, there is a situation that you are dealing with, that you don't really have much of say or an advantage in. It could be around work where, because I just see this bad run of luck when it comes to money and work with you. And I feel like there's really nothing you can say with that Seven of Wands coming in reverse. Now, when I see the Three of Pentacles coming in reverse, this can indicate that you're not getting along with the people that you work with. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles also coming in reverse. You don't get paid enough to deal with these people. I mean, it could be one of these things where, even with the Three of Pentacles, you're thinking maybe I should just start and work by myself. But money is tight this week, Anna. I mean, I'm seeing that, because here we've got the Four of Pentacles. You're hanging on to what you got because it's all you've got. So you're going to have to be careful when it comes to money. Let's get another card. But I do see that there is going to be an offer made, maybe from someone in the past to try to make things right or try to fix it. Whether or not you're going to accept it, that's another question. I see you sitting here with your arms crossed, not real sure whether or not you want to accept help from someone or something. But I feel like it's going to be a tough week for you, Anna, all right? Especially when it comes to money. And, the fact that, the Seven of Wands indicates there's not much you can do about it. You're just going to have to kind of, flow with it as it goes through. Because I just feel like there's something that's not going to work out for you. Ugh. Yeah, I want your past in the past too, Anna. Oh my goodness. Enki. Let's do a reading for you, all right, Enki? All right, you have a question or just general? I'm just kind of waiting to see if Enki puts a question in. Just general. All right. So I'm going to do just a general reading for Enki. Grateful, thankful. I hope that helped, Anna. That was rough. It was. I'm not going to lie. All right. Let's see, Enki, what's going on for you? General reading for my friend Enki. Would like a reading. What cards are coming out for Enki? Okay, Detroit. I'll get to you. All right, listen, Enki, I feel as if the things are moving, all right? We've got either a trip or a move actually happening. Then we got the Knight of Swords, and we have the Eight of Pentacles coming in reverse. I feel like it's not something you want to do, or you really want to go. If it's a trip, you don't really want to go on it. You can't really afford it, but maybe you can't afford not to go. All right, so the Knight of Swords, this is you not wanting to pursue something, and it could be around a job. Maybe you are looking for a job. Let's get another card out here. High Priestess. You got to use your intuition on this one. All right. Here we see movement. And when we have the Chariot card, sometimes things come up that distract us. And I'm just feeling like, there is a situation that, you might want to go after. All right. Even if you feel like you don't want it, you may decide that you might want to go after something. But with the Knight of Swords, I mean, if it's not in your heart, it's not in your heart. So you're going to have to follow your intuition on this one. But I definitely feel like, you could be missing an opportunity if you don't go somewhere. All right, let's see. Detroit's finest. It's harder to bounce back from a recession than it is to lower taxes. Bandit, you'll bounce back. All right, let's see. I have been having very bad luck since 2008. Will you have unforeseen environmental odds thrown my way? A wrench, so to speak. All right, let's see if things open up for you. All right, we're looking at Detroit's finest. All right, Detroit, let's find out. Let's find out what's going on. Let's see if things are going to open up for you. My new friend, Detroit's finest. I know Detroit. I have family in Michigan. All right, let's see. Tell me about Detroit's finest. All right, I do see things starting to break for you. All right, I do see that there is the potential. All right, we have the Devil card coming in reverse. All right, so the toxic energy you're very aware of. All right, things not working out. And then I have the Tower card. I almost feel like there's, something's going to hit out of nowhere. This is when all of a sudden you realize that you've got to cut your losses with someone or a situation. Because some of the toxic energy I don't feel is coming directly from you. I feel like it can also be coming from someone else. But I see an opportunity coming for you, and I see that opportunity is going to put you on a new road that's going to get you down where you have to go. But this unexpected energy is what really interests me, all right? Because this unexpected energy around this Page of Cups, it could, you may be heading in a direction and then boom, something else comes up like this opportunity. But I definitely see the road shifting for you. So I think the worst is over, all right? Just hang in there a little longer, Detroit, and everything will be okay. Hi, Ice Cream. Welcome in. Is your partner taking you on a date? Let's find out. If he's your partner, I would say take me out on a date. Preparation, opportunity equals luck. Yes, but I definitely see a good opportunity for you. It's coming. It's definitely on its way. All right, let's find out what is going on with Ice Cream. She wants to know if her partner is going to take her on a date. So we are all now invested on this date. All right, Ice Cream. And may it not just be for Ice Cream. No, I don't see them taking you out. Look at this. I see the 5 of Cups and the 9 of Wands coming in reversed. I don't know who it is your partner, but they're not doing you any favors, and here with, the 5 of Cups coming in reverse, you should move on from them, all right? Because, this person, you're always guarded around them, and fighting, all right? I don't feel like this is a good match for you, Ice Cream, honestly, not from these cards. If this is your partner, I see a lot of fighting. I feel like, there's a lot of things that you give up. And I don't see them taking you out. But I do see them as your partner here, the Hierophant. And things can change, things can change, but I just don't feel like they're going to take you out. Not tonight, anyway. All right, let's see. See, I would be saying, take me out on a date. I wouldn't be waiting for them to take me out on a date. If he's your partner, say, I want to go out, and then have him get out. But is he coming to take you out on a date? I got to tell you, I keep getting no, he's not coming. I don't see him coming to take you out on a date. I hope I'm wrong. I like to be wrong with things like this. Jenny's Cozy Corner, welcome in. How are you? Yeah. I'm sorry. I saw just a lot of arguing and a lot of fighting. Ice Cream, but no. Ask him out on a date. I mean, for real. Have him take you out. Tell him how, sometimes you gotta teach him how you want to be treated. All right, Jenny's Cozy Corner. Relationship messages. 24 years together. That's a long time. All right. Let's find out. Relationship message for Jenny in her Cozy Corner. Hi, Disha. Welcome in. How are you? All right, Jenny's Cozy Corner. What's going on for you? Relationship message for Jenny. All right, listen, I see something coming to an end. All right, or there is this need for an ending to happen because we got a lot of mental energy going on here. All right, Jenny, I mean, I see a lot of struggle. When we have the Ten of Swords, you know, this is wanting something to come to an end because there's been a lot of pain, a lot of hurt. Here we are in the Eight of Swords energy. This again, more mental, you know, instability that I feel like you're suffering. Maybe you're considering a divorce. You know, because I just see the struggle is real, and I see that you want it to come to an end. You're done with this. One more card, the Moon card. I mean, these are deep, deep feelings and deep emotions, and you really don't know really what to do, but you know what you want to do. You know, as to whether or not you choose to do it with this Moon card. You know, these are deep feelings that are starting to surface that you cannot pretend aren't there. And the more time you take trying to suppress these feelings, the more they're going to come up. And I feel like the Moon card is bringing a lot of stuff up right now. And, you know, I think you're realizing how unhappy you really are in the relationship. So that's what I've got for you. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like you put much work into it. Knight of Pentacles coming in reversed. I'm sorry, but that's what I've got. I'm good, Disha. Olive Queen, welcome in. 17 years, congratulations. All right, Olivia, let's find out. Will you have everlasting love with the 17 years? I mean, you're going strong already, so that's pretty good. Let's find out. Olivia would like to know whether there is everlasting love in this relationship. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Olivia. All right, let's find out. Let's find out. All right, so, you know, I don't see it being everlasting because here we have the Ten of Cups coming in reverse, and then I see you being single. So there could be a disconnect that happens down the road, but I see you being very single, very independent, and not being married. The Tower. Or maybe you've been avoiding this. You know, maybe this is something that you want to have happen. But I think at some point it may eventually happen. Because maybe not now, but I do see you being very single down the road. All right, that's what I've got for you, Olivia. Disha, who is your divine partner? Hi, Diana. Welcome in. Nice to see you, too. All right, Disha, let's see. Who is your divine partner? Let's see. Can you give me a read on Disha's divine partner? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Disha's divine partner. Well, I don't feel like you've met him yet. You know, I don't feel like you've met him yet. We have the Ace of Wands coming in reverse. Yeah, I don't feel like you've met your partner yet. Seven of Wands, I think you've met a lot of people and they've disappointed you, but I think you're still looking. I think you're going to meet him at work is when you're finally going to meet him. Will be at work. I think they'll be a hard worker as well. Could have curly hair. Could have curly hair. It's just funny that that comes out. I just feel as if, you know, that you just haven't met them yet. Not yet. But yes, I do feel like at work. And I think you'll have a good connection with them. All right, who's next? Anyone else out there? So, Disha, that's all I got on your divine partner. Urbano Rosario, will you ever have a partner? Moving forward, welcome in. Welcome in, you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. Come on in. You got to hit the like button. Well, you don't have to, but I hope you do. All right, let's find out what's going on with Urbano Rosario. Would like to know, will they ever have a partner? Upright for yes, reverse for no. Let's find out. All right, Urbano. You are going to remain single for a while. Yeah, see, I see you being single for a while, all right? I think you're very good being single. You're very solid. You're very independent. And when you finally do open up to someone, I feel like you're going to open up to somebody who could, you know, smash that a little bit. The King of Swords reversed. Be very, very careful that you don't end up with somebody who has a sharp tongue. Because I feel like this King of Swords can have a very sharp tongue, could be a little bit mean, all right? But that's who I see coming towards you right now. You know, so be careful of that energy, because if somebody's going to be like that, you're going to be better off on your own, because you're very good as a single person. Some of us are just meant to be single. I've been single most of my life. You know, I'm okay with that. All right, moving forward. You want to know, when are you going to meet the right one? Hi, Doris. Welcome in. Katie. Nice to see you. All right, moving forward. We want to find out when will you find the right one? Let's see. When were you going to find the right one? Grateful, thankful for the messages. For moving forward. All right, well, you know, I think you will find the right one when you feel a little bit emotionally more secure. I do see someone coming in for you. We have the Page of Wands. This is a young energy, a youthful energy, somebody who is very fun-loving, who I think will ground you. Then that's really who you need. But I do feel like you will meet someone one of these days. You just have to be patient. You have to be patient, and I think you have to be patient when you meet someone as well, all right, moving forward, because to meet the right one, you know, means that we have to accept them all completely. And sometimes that's hard because we have to accept the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to, you know, being a full, complete partner. But yeah, I do feel like there could be somebody coming in. You know, maybe fire season, maybe the end of the summer, sometime like that. But yeah, again, I feel as if, you know, emotionally, you've got to be a little bit more grounded when you meet someone. Because if you give too much at the beginning, then, you know, it kind of flakes out towards the end because you got nothing left to give. And if emotionally we're a little shut down or we're shy, that also holds us back. But I just feel like, you know, you just need to find somebody who will really ground you into something very concrete, and you'll feel much better. Keep dreaming, though, because he's out there. Doris, nice to see you. What do I see for Doris? Let's find out, Doris, huh? Let's find out. Grateful, thankful. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Chandralaka. I know I didn't say your name right. All right, Doris, let's find out what's going on for my friend Doris. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Doris. What do we see for Doris? Give me a card for Doris. What do we see for Doris? All right, Doris, we have the Death card. So I see that you're in a transitionary period, you know, where something's got to come to an end, because if it cannot be transformed, then we need to let it go. All right, and I feel like there is a situation that's going on with you, Doris, right now that you need to bring it to an end, especially if you know that it's not going to change. Let's get one more card out here for you, Doris. Page of Swords. But, you know, the delivery of a bad news is never an easy thing to do. So, you know, either you have to deliver this bad news or you have to say something to someone that would end the situation, and you don't want to do it, but, you know, you'll feel better at the end of the day. The other thing that I'm getting with this is that for Doris, you know, there could be somebody who is watching you. Maybe they have their eye on you. They're interested in you. Could be around work. Yeah, so there could be a new beginning around work. So that's what I see for you, Doris. All right, who else? Katie, is life going to get more settled? You've just moved into your new house. Oh my gosh, congratulations. It's always exciting to get into a new house. All right, let's see what's going on for Katie Williams. Is life going to get more settled? Grateful, thankful. Yeah, there's definitely something you need to cut. I saw that with the Death card. You know, and what we need to cut sometimes, Doris, you know, is, you know, things that we're attached to that we shouldn't be attached to. And it could be a house. Maybe we're attached to a house that we can't really afford, and, you know, but we don't want to leave because we're attached to the house, or we're attached to a person, or we're attached to, you know, a habit. There's just something that really wants to come to an end in your life. All right, let's go back to Katie. All right, Katie. Let's find out if your life is going to get a little bit more settled. Grateful, thankful. All right. So listen, Katie, you were involved with somebody. It could be more than one person here. But I see you involved with someone, Katie, the King of Wands to the Two of Cups reversed. Listen, the King of Wands, this is a tough guy to be with because they're not faithful. They're very charming. They say all the right things. All of that, you know, but they don't mean anything that they say. So, you know, I don't know, Katie, if you are in between two men, because I have two men here on the table. Let me tell you, the King of Cups is the one I would be more inclined to say go for this one, because this guy's very emotionally sound and kind, and you know, but I just feel like the King of Wands is the one that's more alluring. But this is somebody you can't trust, and this is somebody you can. So I think once you kind of see that, your life will start to settle a little bit more. But yeah, you got to deal with these men, Katie. Jimmy V. Martin, open up to a different karmic clone, simple energy vampire, because the old ones already had a change to feed off of you. Share it? Okay, I didn't understand any of that. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. Ice Cream, you want to know whether your partner wants to be in a committed relationship with you or have a baby? Ooh. Didn't we just see whether or not he wasn't going to take you out on a date? Great, Ice Cream, but let's see. Does he want to be in a committed relationship? Let's find out first. You know, I get no. I don't feel like he does want to be in a committed relationship. And no, he does not want to have a baby, says the Empress reversed. So, yeah. You know, and I didn't like his energy when I pulled the cards out earlier, so I'm sorry. Let's see. Enki, could I tell you when you'll find the right woman for you? I've also been single for most of my life. Not that I'm old now. Oh, Diana. All right. Let's find out, Enki, whether or not you will find the right woman for you. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Enki. Will he find the right woman? No, I don't see you're going to meet someone. Little shut down. Yeah, look at this, 2 blocks, you know. I just feel like, you know, that's not important to you. You know, it's not probably, you know, a priority for you to find someone. And I just don't see you finding anybody, at least not in the near future, Enki. All right, Diana, what's going on with you? You've been thinking about going into real estate. Your real estate. I was a realtor for a little while. It's expensive to be a realtor. I'll tell you that much. So, you know, there's a lot of fees. So you have to have some initial money to become a realtor. So if you've got that, it's a cutthroat business. Let's see. Diana wants to know whether or not she should go into real estate. Where's your Libra? Is your Libra in the 10th house? Then definitely go into real estate. All right, Diana, let's see. Well, should you go into real estate? You know, I'm getting a no. I'm getting a no right now. You know, I feel as if right now may not be the right time to go in. Because like I said, I did real estate for a little while. There's a lot of money you have to put out at eventually. But I do see you partnering up with someone down the road. So I'm going to say right now, maybe you could look into getting your license and all of that, but I don't see you going into it right away. Not right away. Yeah, see, I think it's going to bring you a lot of stress and anxiety because it is a very cutthroat business, you know, and it's tough. It's tough to make it in real estate. So I just don't see that being the direction that you're going to go in. But, you know, you're going to end up doing very well. Regardless of what direction you end up in, you've got the 9 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So, you know, you're going to be okay no matter what you decide to do. All right, Diana? All right, let's see. Chandrikala, I don't know how to say your name. Will you get to marry with Somit in future? Does he love you? Let's find out whether or not you get married. All right, because I can't say your names. All right, let's see. Let's see. Is Chandrilaka going to get married? Does he love her? Let's find out. You know, I feel like, yes, you will be getting married. Look at these beautiful cards. We have the Temperance card and the Queen of Pentacles, which always indicates a wife. So I think, you know, yes, this is very real. And I think in time, everything will work out with him. That's really lovely. So I like that for you. Mandy, welcome in. Kenningham Law, what's my opinion about you? I don't really have an opinion about you. I think you're a fine person. Lana Culture, welcome in. Michelle, welcome in. You move, but will life ever improve? I wish for happiness. Okay, let's find out, Michelle. Let's pull a card on you and find out if life will improve for you. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Michelle. All right, let's see how your life is going to improve. You know, I do see that things are going to change, all right, because we have the World card coming out. So your cycle, a life with you, a life cycle is about to come to an end. But, you know, I feel as if, you know, you need to speak up in some situations, because the Queen of Swords, you know, she's angry. She's upset over something or someone not pulling their weight, not doing what they say they're promised to do. And I feel like, you know, if you are dealing with someone, they could be like baggage to you. You know, and the fact that the World card comes out, I feel like, you know, eventually that's all going to change. You're not going to tolerate something anymore, and it's going to come to an end, and then your life is going to feel a lot better. Because you're dealing with something that's been toxic. You know, and as long as you continue that, you're going to continue the, you know, instability that you're feeling. But I do see it coming to an end. I do feel like, you know, you reach a point where you just won't tolerate something anymore, and then you move on. So that's what I've got for you. All right. Let's see. Guided by the universe. Will your YouTube channel grow? Currently, you have 16 subs. All right, everybody. If we knew what Guided by the Universe's channel was, we could all subscribe. All right. Listen, I started with one person. You just got to keep going. But let's find out. Guided by the Universe would like to know, will their YouTube channel continue to grow? All right, so I don't see it growing, all right? I feel like something has to change, because this is you trying to make it work, but when it's upside down, you can't pretend that it's not working. Ace of Pentacles also coming in reverse. I just don't feel like the channel is going to work for you. You might want to revive it or perk it up or do something, because the way it's going right now, I don't think it's going to take off. It will take a while. But, you know, if you do change it, I mean, here we have this, you know, Seven of Pentacles. This is about you trying to put the work in. But I think you have to do all of it, you know, and when you do all of it, you have to just keep trying. There's a guy, he's really great. He's got Minnow Pond Tarot. His name is Chris Reck. He's got all kinds of information on how to grow your YouTube channel. Go see him. You know, he will give you the best advice and follow it, and I think you might find success, but not right away. All right, Guided by the Universe, not right away. Perna, welcome in. What's coming towards you in career this year? All right, let's find out, Perna. Let's find out what's coming towards you in your career this year. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Perna. What's coming in? All right, some stress and anxiety I see coming in. Yeah, like, you know, I don't know if you're already in a job, but I see a lot of stress and anxiety with you around someone. You know, it could be, you know, your boss or an elder, but I see it all coming to an end. So, yeah, you might be switching careers. What follows the World card? Yeah, and I think you might learn something, you know, get some news or a new lead or something through someone, or maybe you partner up with a friend of yours. But I see, you know, when it comes to your career, something definitely coming to an end. Ooh, you're going to start a tarot channel. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I wish you a lot of luck, because I know how hard it is to, you know, kind of grow a channel. I've been on this channel, 6-7 years, you know, and I'm still struggling to make it work. So you got to put in the energy. All right, P18. Will A commit to you? Let's find out, P18. Grateful, thankful. Finding out what's going on with P. He wants to know whether A will commit to them in the future. All right, I do see a commitment. All right, King of Pentacles. This is a very serious commitment, very grounded, very stable, very solid. So that's a yes in my book. All right, Katie, one more card. One more card for you. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Katie. We're going to pull one more card for Katie. See what's going on for Katie. One more card. Give me one more card for Katie. What is it? we've got the Empress coming in reverse. So the Empress coming in reverse is a few things, all right? This is the divine feminine, but when it's upside down, sometimes we don't feel good about ourselves. Sometimes we don't feel good in our skin. Sometimes we're unsure about, you know, how we are, you know, with our kids. We don't make a good mom. Some of us don't want to be a mom. But with this energy here, we need to turn that around, Katie, and we need to find that divine feminine and what it is that you really love about yourself. Because when she comes upside down, you know, it kind of tells me, you know, you're struggling a little bit with yourself. So let's find those things that are really great about you and nurture that. All right, Katie? You're already in stress. Bye, ice cream. Be back. Annette, how are you? You've been a widow for 4 years now, and I'm wondering if I'll ever meet someone special. Maybe this year? Let's find out. Annette would like to meet someone. She's a widow and would like to meet someone. I'm sorry for your loss. Let's find out about Annette. Will she ever meet someone special this year? Yeah, do you, Katie? All those things that make you feel good. All right, Annette, let's find out if you're going to meet someone special this year. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Annette. All right, I don't see you meeting anyone this year. Nope, not this year. I don't see you meeting anyone for a while. And I think when you finally do meet someone, you'll meet them at work. But right now, you know, you are in this energy of the Sun card with the Hanged Man coming in reverse. So on the outside, it appears everything is good. But inside, you're struggling still. You know, I mean, there is no time for grief. And I just feel as if, you know, here, the Hermit, you really want to come out of this place. And you want to meet someone. And like I said, I feel as if you're going to meet them finally at work. But I don't think it's going to happen right away. I think you're still processing. But yes, you are definitely going to meet someone. Oh, lovely person. King of Cups. I like who you're going to meet because this is somebody who's going to be very, very kind, very emotional. You know, like they want to go deep, you know. So you're going to meet a really good person when the time does come. All right, Annette? Michelle, you're welcome. Mandy. Let's see, Mandy. I'm going to jump down to Mandy because I don't think I read for Mandy yet. And then if I have time for it, I'll come back to you, all right? All right, Mandy, will your career be okay later this year? Let's find out. Let's find out, Mandy, whether your career will be okay. Thanks for all the likes, the comments, the shares, you guys. Welcome in, everyone. Yeah, good luck with that, Annette. All right, let's see. Mandy, you know, it's funny. I feel as if, you know, this year you're going to put a lot of energy and effort into work. It's going to be good. It'll benefit your family. You know, and as it progresses, I wonder whether or not you're going to be offered another opportunity, all right? Because I see this, you know, hand handing you this cup. You may or may not take it, all right? But, you know, I think that's going to come here soon. Yeah, I don't feel like you're going to take it. I think you're not going to take an opportunity in your career because it really would affect the family. You know, because we have the Page of Cups coming in reverse. And sometimes, you know, it sounds really good on paper to get this job and this and that, but the reality of the job itself could end up being more than what you really want to take on. So you may just stay put where you are and not make any big moves in your career. All right, that's what I've got for you, Mandy. Sindhu, will I get any substantial amount of money this week? Thanks for doing this. You're welcome, Sindhu. Gosh, I hope I get a substantial amount of money. I would love that. All right, let's find out, Sindhu. You're welcome, Mandy. All right, Sindhu, let's find out. Will you get a substantial amount of money this week? Yes or no? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Sindhu. All right, I don't see a lot of money coming in this week. Not at all, you know, because we have the High Priestess here to the Magician reversed. You know, be careful when you're trying to make things happen before it's time, because I do see money was eventually going to come, but it's going to take time and you're going to have to do the work, all right? It's just not going to manifest. But if you do the work, the money will come, but I don't see it happening this week, all right, Sindhu? I like that. And the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, I mean, this could be about apprenticeship, about, you know, you doing something over and over again until you do it really, really well. But yeah, not this week. Lauren, how are you? Anna, welcome in. All right, Lauren, let's find out. Let's look at your energy here and find out what's coming out for you. Lauren, Psych, Christine. I don't know. Lauren's, I don't know what that says. Lauren's Christine. Anyway, we're going to check on you. What does Berto think about Christine after breaking up with Christine? Oh. All right. So let's take a look at Berto. What does he think about Christine? All right. He's on guard when it comes to you. Very guarded. Very guarded. But there's a lot of history here. And a lot of deep feelings. But he's very, very guarded about you right now. All right. So here we see him, you know, been through the ringer. But here are these good memories with the Six of Cups. I think he's thinking about the good times, you know, and the Moon card brings up these deep feelings, you know, but things weren't fair. Things didn't, you know, so yeah, this is why he remains guarded. So that's how he feels. All right, Lauren, that's what I've got for you. Loretta, welcome in. Anna, what's going on? Will V stay my best support for me emotionally, spiritually, and career-wise as much as he's been so far? He's my best friend and we love each other, but we have other commitments too. All right, Anna, let's find out about V. Will V maintain the good support that he has been? Will be continues. Will he remain that? Wow, I see them pulling back. All right, Knight of Pentacles comes in reverse. So, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if he pulls back because of his feelings. All right, there's other commitments here, you know, and you love each other. I see that here with this Ace of Wands. And, you know, I think he wants to be happy, but it would surprise me if he pulls back in order for someone to be happy. I mean, this is passion, all right, and this is happiness. And you guys really love each other, you know, but somehow it's not working. It's not happening. Let's get another card. I think sometimes there's a lot of stress over that. But this isn't healthy. You know, it's not healthy. You know, you really need to have, you know, a little bit more, you know, given there, you know, and the Knight of Pentacles isn't putting a lot of effort into it. So I feel like he's not going to continue to put a lot of effort into this. Probably because it's, you know, probably going to be for the best. So he thinks. Loretta, thanks for the super chat. Welcome in. Welcome in. Will Brendan take any actions towards you? Well, we're going to have to find out. Let's find out. I'm just going to answer Perna's question real quick. Here, let me get Perna here real quick, and then I'll come back to you, all right, Loretta? But I really appreciate the super chat. Really appreciate it. Makes me happy to see a box come up on my chat. All right, Perna, let's find out. Oh, where'd you go? You want to know if you will get a favorable transfer this month. Will you get a good transfer this month, Perna? Let's find out. And then I'm going to jump down to Loretta. Grateful, thankful for the messages for Perna. No, I don't see that happen. I see a lot of movement, though. So, yeah, maybe you do get it. All right, with the Eight of Wands, things are set in motion. There's going to be a lot of text, a lot of communication, a lot of talk, a lot of meetings, a lot of, you know. So chances are, yeah, very well, you might just get that transfer this month. Things are definitely in motion. All right, Perna? But let's pull my attention to my friend Loretta, who gave me a super chat. Much appreciated. Really grateful for the 249. Will Brendan take any actions towards you? Let's find out, Loretta. Will Brendan take any actions towards Loretta? Grateful, thankful. The messages for Loretta. Loretta's on a need-to-know basis. And we need to know, is Brendan going to take any actions towards her? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Loretta. Oh, I do feel like there is something that's going to happen. We have the Temperance card saying you must be patient. And then we have the Queen of Cups coming in upside down. So you're a little emotionally unsteady about whether or not it's going to happen. But listen, the Temperance card says be patient. Things are being worked out in the background. So I do feel like he is going to take some actions towards you. You know, but eventually I feel like you're going to move on from him. I don't think you're going to stay with him very long. You know, because, you know, waiting and waiting and waiting, it's leaving you going nuts, you know, and eventually I just see you finally just saying, I'm done, I'm not going to stick around. So I think the relationship itself, this is telling me that it could be a little tumultuous, you know, it could have some troubles, a lot of downs more than ups, because I do see you eventually moving on from Brendan, Loretta. Oh, sorry about that. I wanted to see something really good. Hi, Northern Blue. Welcome in. Nice to see you. Semina, well, how are you? Will Harris Zoran take action from me? Which months take action from you? Yeah, just be careful, Loretta, of getting involved in someone, you know, that, because, you know, you be coming out as the Queen of Cups reversed, you know, that tells me emotionally you're not going to feel very, very confident and stable in this relationship. And that's what concerns me, you know, because we should feel emotionally secure and very comfortable with whoever we are with. All right, let's find out, Semina, whether or not Harris will take action for you and when. Let's find out. All right, we've got the High Priestess, and we have the Knight of Pentacles, and then we have the Five of Swords. So listen, this is somebody who doesn't move very fast, all right? He's not going to rush into anything. This guy takes his time doing everything that he does. You know, and I feel like, you know, the two of you, rather than actually really get together, I see you guys fighting more than really being together. You know, so I don't think he really wants to be with you, honestly, is what I'm thinking. You know, because it's also like he's got his back turned to you. I mean, here you are, the High Priestess, and he won't look at you. So I'm just wondering whether or not you should just move on from this guy. Let's pull one more card. Yeah, the Magician coming in reverse. I mean, this is not anybody who's going to bring you happiness. All right, Simna, or Samina, you know, so I just feel as if, you know, he's not going to take any good action. Mandy, you're back. What is Gary's true intentions towards you? All right, Mandy, we'll do you, and I think you'll be the last one, and then I'm going to move on with my day. Really grateful for each and every one of you for coming through. All right, Mandy, we're going to find out Gary's true intentions for you, and then we're going to move on with the day. Grateful, thankful for the messages. Today's your birthday, Samina. Happy birthday. We got us a Gemini in the house. All right, Mandy, let's find out Gary's true intentions towards you. Look, he wants to put the work in, all right? You know, he's willing to put the work in here, and I think he wants to see it grow. So I like that energy coming out, you know, when it comes to an intentions towards someone. This is somebody who is wanting to do the work, and I think that's important to have someone who wants to do that. And the Moon card, I think things go deep between the two of you. So I like the combination here, and I feel as if, you know, he may take a little bit of time to come out, you know, of his shell, but I do feel like eventually you guys will get down the road. Anyway, I do like that for you, Mandy. Prudence, welcome in. You want to know Moses' thoughts. Samina, I'm going to go to the people who haven't had a question yet, so I'm going to go to Prudence here. We want to know what Moses thinks of Prudence. Grateful, thankful for the messages. So listen, I don't feel like he sees you too highly, all right? He sees you as the Empress reverse. So you are not, you know, somebody that he is very much attracted to or very interested in. Judgment. Yeah, and I feel like there's no going back. I mean, with the Judgment card coming in reverse, he's pretty much done. So I don't think this is a good connection for you, Prudence. You know, I think Moses is done, you know, and I think it's time for you to look elsewhere. All right, Samina. Will you find new love? When will I don't know what married will, I think you're saying married there. But will you find new love? Let's find out, yes or no. All right. See, I see you being on your own. I see you doing things on your own, Samina. This is somebody who doesn't conform, doesn't get married. They run to their own beat. So right now, I don't feel as if, you know, marriage is in your future right now. You know, maybe down the road, but not now. Raina, welcome in. Will you ever get over your depression, or will I get bipolar? I'll tell you this about depression, someone who suffers from depression. Depression hates a moving target. So if you are just sitting around, that's part of the depression. You got to move. You have got to force yourself to get up and get out and do things. And nobody can force you to do that. But listen, depression hates a moving target. So let's find out what the cards have to say. Will you get over your depression, or will you get bipolar? You don't want to end up bipolar. Yeah, see, I feel as if, you know, you're going to struggle with this. A lot of it could be past traumas that are coming up and that are surfacing, and they're holding you from being able to move on. So I really feel like you need to really look at your depression as it is and make some good choices about how you want to treat it. You know, because there's ways you can treat depression through therapy, you know, through medications, through things like that. But a lot of your confusion right now is because you are not thinking clearly. Yeah, so be careful of turning to, you know, medications and alcohols and things like that to help deal with the depression, because it only makes it worse. All right, so I'm telling you, you know, depression hates a moving target. So you got to take some action. Ana Hutano, prospects on your career, please. Welcome in. Thanks for the super chat. Welcome in, you guys. Anna would like to know prospects on her career. Grateful, thankful for the messages. Thankful for the super chat. Really appreciate it. All right, let's see. Prospects on your career. Let's find out. All right, so listen, I feel like you're moving out of a situation that has not been good, and I see you ending up in a very good place. All right, when we move out of this devil energy, we are moving away from someone or situation, a job that was not good for us. But what follows it is the Queen of Pentacles. And here I see you being very solid, very grounded, very secure, very stable. You know, so if you have just recently made a move in your career, I think it was a wise move, because I see you moving towards a lot of stability. And, you know, this is an older woman, you know, so in your older age is where I also see that you will be very solid and stable. So that's really great to know that, you know, you've got some security coming towards you. I like it. I like it. All right, Prudence, last question. Why does Moses lie? Because he probably is a liar. Amaruta, welcome in. You're coming in just at the tail end. All right, let's see. Prudence wants to know, why does Moses lie? Can you tell me why Moses lies? Grateful, thankful for the messages about Moses. Oh, look at this. Because he likes to make you feel very insecure. I mean, I feel like he almost lies, Prudence, because he likes to see you be unsettled, is what I'm getting. Because the Queen of Cups is somebody who is emotionally insecure. So I almost feel like he plays with you. I mean, like game playing. So I don't like that, Prudence. I don't like that for you at all. What a dream, Mandy. You run your own business, Anna, and you want it to grow. All right, let's see what it looks like. What does the business look like for Anna? The Moon card. Look, you can't be afraid to come out of your shell and do, you know, if you really want this to work, because, you know, here you are. You're this little lobster here. And here's the road, your business. All right? So I feel as if you've got to follow your intuition. You got to dig deep. And if this is really the road that you want to be on, you can really make it happen. Here's the Hermit. All right? So the question is this the road you really want to be on? Is this really the star that you are after? Because the Hermit holds that lantern. There's a star in there. And that's your hopes, your wishes, and everything that you want. And here we see this hermit looking at this moon card and this road you're on. And it says, are you really on the road you want to be on? Interesting reading here for you, Anna. You know, and here we have a disconnect between you and someone else. So I'm just wondering whether or not there is, you know, a partnership that you are involved with. You own your own business, you know, and if somebody wants to be a partner in it, I don't think you want them to have a partner in it. But I see it working out at the end of the day, all right? Because the Queen of Pentacles, you know, again, this is stability. This is, you know, you being very solid and grounded and having everything you need. You know, so I think it's really asking you to really look at what you really want to do with this business if you want to really grow it. All right, Anna, so that's what I've got for you. Amaruta, yes, you can ask a question. Esmeralda, welcome in. Nice to see you, Esmeralda. All right, Amaruta, what do you want? Will my move to a better job work in the foreign workout? Are you moving to another country, Amaruta? Is that what it is? All right, let's find out whether or not it's going to work out. At the end of the day, that's what we want to know, right, Amaruta? Let's find out whether or not this move is a better move. Yes, look at that. You know, this is a wish come true. All right, the Nine of Cups, definitely. I think if this is where you want to go and you want to make this move, it'll be a very good move for you. Really, really good. So let's do that. All right, so go ahead and apply for it because I think something's really good going to come out of it. I hope that helped, Anna. And thanks again for the super chat. Really appreciate it. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to pop off and be on my merry way. I hope you guys all have a really, really great week. I'll try to come back on here a little later this week, maybe midweek. Take care, everyone. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Oh, wait a minute. Esmeralda has a question. What's to be expected? I don't know. What's to be expected? How intriguing. All right, let's end with this question from Esmeralda. Yeah, I'll do one for you, Esmeralda. Esmeralda 25 has a question. All right, let's find out what's to be expected. One card pull for Esmeralda on what is to be expected. All right, we have the Four of Cups. So what I see happening here is that there could have been a situation that you were involved with. You know, could have been social, could be a relationship. And I think you were disappointed, and I think you were disappointed more than once. And here, you know, I feel like whoever it is, this person, this situation, wants to come back again and have another opportunity. And I think you're sitting on the fence as to whether or not you want to do that, you know, because you've been already disappointed. So whether or not you want to really accept another try from someone, you know, because here you're in your head about the whole thing. I've got more than one card for you. I've got to pull yet another one. So yeah, we've got the Eight of Swords, not knowing really what to do. Do you accept the cup or do you leave it alone? You've got to go deep on this one, all right, because we've got the Moon card. And I think you know exactly what you need to do. And you need to get on this road and keep on going down it, you know. So I don't feel like you're going to accept whatever it is that somebody wants you to do, even though, you know, there's hope there. But I think in the end, you just want to win, all right. So yeah, Esmeralda, whatever that is, what's to be expected. I just feel like in the end, you win. I mean, really, in the end, you do win. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're going to do what you need to do. Because, you know, when somebody shows themselves, believe it. You know, if somebody has disappointed you, not once, not twice, but 3 times, what makes you think they're not going to disappoint you again? All right, chances are very high they will. And here it is, the disappointment, right? The Five of Cups came out, you know, and here are those 3 cups, 1, 2, 3. I mean, and you talk about wanting to start new. If, you know, you pick yourself up and pick up these 2 cups and cross that bridge and go over there, you might find something that you're really looking for. So yeah, I feel like it's time for you to turn yourself around. Nika, welcome. Oh, and I thought I was going to leave. All right, Nika, let's find out if you're going to have success in your job. Grateful, thankful for all of you guys. You're welcome, Esmeralda. Come back. Come back when I'm on live. Visit me again. All right, Nika, let's find out. Will you get success in your job? Yes or no? Grateful, thankful for the messages for Nika. Will you get success in your job? Let's see. I don't see you being happy in your job. And no, I don't see success there. I don't see you being happy. I don't see you being successful. And the Four of Swords also coming in reverse. And you're very unsettled in your job. So I don't really feel like this is the job for you. All right. If you're not happy there, then eventually you're going to end up looking for another job. But there's something about it that is really disturbing to you. Because the Four of Swords, maybe you've been hurt, maybe you've been disappointed, maybe they made you promises and they're not keeping it. But I'm definitely feeling like, you know, this job is really not for you, Nikat. All right, you guys, I am having fun, Wendy. All right, you guys, I am really going to pop off now. All right, so in the meantime, you know, you guys be well, be happy, and I will see you all at another reading. Until then, be well. And Sandhya, you came in a little too late. Come back on my next live, and I will answer more questions. Thanks for the super chats, you guys. Be happy, be healthy, be well, be kind.